typical bottle of laundry detergent can cost $25, and the first ingredient is usually water. The rest is often fragrance, color, thickeners, and a plastic jug you pay to replace again and again. In this video, we will make a simple laundry mix that can cost about $6 for a year of washing, using 3 ingredients, and explain why clean became something you are supposed to smell. Modern liquid detergent was not designed only as a cleaner. It was designed as a product that could be poured, scented, colored, branded, shipped, displayed, and used without measuring powders at the sink. The cleaning power comes from surfactants, enzymes, builders, and alkaline ingredients. These are the parts that loosen oil, break down stains, soften water, and keep dirt from settling back into fabric. In many jugs, those ingredients are spread through a large amount of water so the liquid feels convenient and easy to dose. That convenience changes the price. A branded jug is not just charging for chemistry, it is charging for the weight of water on a truck, a molded plastic bottle, a cap, a label, advertising, warehouse space, and a wide rectangle of shelf at the store. Per load, the actual amount of active cleaner can be surprisingly small. The rest helps the product look, smell, flow, and feel like something worth $20. So the real question is not whether liquid detergent can work. It can. The question is much simpler. If water is doing the carrying, what is doing the cleaning? By the middle of the 20th century, detergent companies were not only selling stain removal, they were selling a smell that people could recognize the second a shirt came out of the machine. That smell was not accidental. Brands built artificial scent profiles with names like Spring Fresh, Mountain Breeze, Ocean, and Sunshine. These were not descriptions of the ingredients. They were emotional labels designed to make a bottle feel clean before it cleaned anything. Advertising repeated the lesson for decades. Clean laundry was shown as bright white sheets snapping in the wind, children wrapped in towels, and people burying their faces in fabric. The message was simple. If the smell was strong, the wash had worked. Over time, fragrance became a shortcut in the brain. You could pull a towel from the dryer, smell perfume, and feel confident it was clean, even if the scent said nothing about body oil, detergent residue, hard water minerals, or bacteria trapped in the fibers. That distinction matters. Fragrance can prove that a scented product touched the fabric. It cannot prove that soil was lifted, grease was broken apart, or microbes were reduced. A shirt can smell like a meadow and still hold residue. A towel can smell neutral and be properly washed. Real cleaning is not measured by how powerful the perfume is. It comes down to chemistry: water, alkalinity, surfactants, agitation, and time. That is where the inexpensive recipe starts to make sense. The basic recipe works because it uses 3 jobs, not 30 ingredients. First is washing soda. Chemically, it is sodium carbonate, and its main job is to make the wash water more alkaline. That higher pH helps loosen acidic soils like sweat, body oils, food grease, and the film that builds up in collars, towels, and workout clothes. It also helps fabric fibers release grime instead of holding onto it through the cycle. Second is borax. Borax is useful because tap water is not just water. Hard water makes cleaning less efficient because minerals can interfere with soap and leave residue behind. Borax helps bind up some of those minerals, so the cleaning ingredients can stay active and dirt is less likely to settle back onto the fabric. Third is soap. This can be liquid castile soap or a grated laundry bar, depending on the recipe. Soap is the surfactant. One end of the soap molecule is attracted to water, and the other end is attracted to oil. That structure lets it grab greasy soil, break it away from the fabric, and carry it into the rinse water. Those 3 pieces cover the main chemistry: alkalinity to loosen grime, water softening to improve the wash, and a surfactant to lift oils away. The price is where the recipe gets interesting. A box of washing soda, a box of borax, and a bar or bottle of soap can cost around $13 total, depending on the store. One batch only uses part of that supply, so the actual detergent you make can land close to $6, with ingredients left over for the next batch. Start with a clean 5-gallon bucket, a long spoon, a grater, and 1 bar of laundry soap or plain Castile-style bar soap. Grate about 1 cup of soap flakes. Smaller shavings melt faster and leave fewer clumps in the finished detergent. Put 4 cups of hot water in a pot over low heat, then add the grated soap. Stir slowly until the flakes dissolve. Keep the heat gentle. You want the soap to melt into the water, not boil, foam over, or scorch on the bottom of the pot. Now fill the bucket about halfway with hot water. Pour in the melted soap mixture and stir it through the bucket. Add 1 cup of washing soda and 1 cup of borax. Stir until the powder is dissolved and the liquid looks smooth. Scrape the bottom of the bucket with the spoon so nothing sits there in a gritty layer. Once everything is mixed, top the bucket off with cold water, leaving a little space at the top so you can stir without spilling. Give it one more thorough mix, cover the bucket, and let it sit overnight. By the next day, the detergent should thicken into a loose gel. It may look separated or uneven, and that is normal. Break it up with a spoon or use a paint stirrer if you want a smoother texture. For most loads, use about half a cup. Add it directly to the drum or into the detergent compartment, depending on your machine. A full 5-gallon batch gives roughly 300 loads if you stay near that half-cup amount, which is where the year-long estimate comes from for smaller households. The first objection people usually have is the foam. This gel will not bubble like a capful of store-bought detergent, and that is not a failure. Foam is mostly a visual cue. Cleaning comes from water movement, alkalinity, surfactants, and enough time for the soil to lift away. In fact, many modern washers are designed for low-sudsing detergent. Too many suds can cushion the clothes, slow down rinsing, and confuse sensors that measure water level or load balance. If your machine is high efficiency, use the smallest effective amount first, and check the manual for detergent guidance, especially if warranty language matters to you. Residue is the next concern, and it usually comes from using too much, not dissolving the ingredients well, or packing the drum too tightly. This recipe works best when the soap is fully melted, the powders are fully dissolved, and the load has room to move. If clothes ever feel stiff or look dull, reduce the amount, run a warmer wash when the fabric allows it, or add an extra rinse for that load. For skin sensitivity, the appeal is what this recipe leaves out. There is no added fragrance, no dye, and no optical brightener. That can matter for baby clothes, migraine triggers, scent sensitivity, or eczema-prone skin. Of course, plain does not mean perfect for everyone, so test it on a small load first if your household reacts easily. The real question is not whether the recipe is complicated. It is almost too simple. The question is why most people only hear about detergent as something they have to keep buying, bottle after bottle, year after year. So the takeaway is simple. Stop paying to ship water, perfume, and branding home in plastic jugs. This 3-ingredient mix puts the cost, scent, and ingredients back in your control. Thanks for watching. Comment with your yearly detergent cost and like the video if you want more money-saving household breakdowns en gros.